Hey, what's going on, Cowabunga traders? It is Pip Surfer. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I figured today was a pretty good day to make one. Had some interesting things happen in the cable today, so I will go ahead and do an update. The first thing I want to do, though, is address a question by one of the Cowabunga's faithful followers, and that is Gryat. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure, but he asked the questions basically about as far as when the price hits your initial target and the whole clean break thing. It is very hard to tell whether or not a candle that's hit your target, whether it'll continue to move in your direction, whether it'll retrace back. And so kind of the question here is basically, how do you know when it's a clean break and when to stay in the trade, or whether you just close out as fast as you can if the price retraces back? Here's what I do. If I see the price make an initial spike of about 2 to 3 pips or so, something like that, or even maybe 5 pips, I'll watch it really close, and if I see the price fluctuating back down to my initial target, maybe going back under, something like that, then I will go ahead and pull the trigger and close my trade out. Unless I really see some good momentum, like if we see the price go beyond 5 pips, let's say 10 pips, then you really have some more breathing room to see if the price is going to close, above your target. So there's really no definite answer. Like I said, I wish there could be some kind of set standard, form where we could just do the same thing for every trade, but unfortunately the market is not the same every time. So you really just got to play it by ear, I guess, so to say, and I guess you'll get used to it once you see how, you trade a certain currency for a while, and I guess to me it just kind of comes, I just take it for granted that I kind of can sense how the market's going based on that day and just watching the price movement the whole day. So I mean, it's part of that whole thing where as you trade it more, you'll get a better feel for it, and you'll know. It's just you'll kind of know, and so don't get discouraged if everything is not the same as mine. You will get there eventually. Trust me, it takes a long time. Keep trading, keep staying disciplined, and you'll get it. I promise. Okay, so let's go ahead and start today's update. So the first thing we're going to do is check out our 4-hour chart. And here you can see that we had a new trend change candle, and this happened yesterday at 8 p.m. So right when we started trading at midnight, you can see that the trend was up the whole time. Even though we didn't get straight upward movement, the trend stayed up the entire day. So I was only looking for long trades today. Next thing I'm going to do is, of course, check out what news we have for today, just to see what we need to watch out for. And here you can see that at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we had the BOE had an interest rate statement, so that's something you definitely want to watch. I didn't really pay attention to the Euro one because we're trading the cable. I know it could have an indirect effect on the cable, but not for me. I don't pay attention to it. I only pay attention to news that has to do with sterling or the dollar. And at 8:30, you can see that we had initial jobless claims for the dollar. So 7 o'clock and 8:30 were the times that I was looking out for. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to my 15-minute chart. Let's take it back. And we'll go ahead and start right around midnight. Okay, remember, we're only looking for long trades. So I'm going to go ahead and just move forward through the chart. You see, we have nothing so far. Price actually moves down a little bit. And, when price starts to move down, you start to see a movement coming back up like this. That's when you kind of want to know and start paying attention to the screen, because you might have a signal coming up. So you might want to pay attention. Here we get more big movements. So now I'm really paying attention close to the screen, okay? And here we actually have a crossover. Now you can see that RSI is above 50. Stochastics are trending up, and we have MACD, which was negative, and it was gaining value. So this is a good signal right here, and this was at 3:45. So it's not anywhere near our news at 7 or 8:30. So this is a good trade to enter. So the entry would be as close to the close of this candle as possible, and that's around 97.64. Your stop would be at the most recent swing low right here, 97.22, and we're at 64, so that's about what, 36 pips, I believe, away from the nearest zero level, which is at 9,800. So that's about a good amount, profit to go for. So I'm going to go ahead and put my target here at 9,800. And there's something interesting that happened today, and I'll get to it as we go along. But as we move forward, we'll see that the price actually does get our target, and in fact, it does close really high. Now, here is something I did different, which is I kind of broke the rules today. If you recall from yesterday's update, I had a pretty big loss of about 43 pips. Now, you might call it emotion, but for me, this trade right here was a big move. It not only hit my target, but it also went above and beyond. It actually got as high as 98.28. So this right here would actually put me, it would bring me back from my loss of yesterday. And that for me, that was a good accomplishment because we did lose such a big amount yesterday. So instead of trailing my stop to break even and whatnot, on this candle, I actually took my profit right as it closed. And I know people might be upset about that. Well, why didn't you trail your stop to break even and go for more? And like I said, normally I would. And if the price would have kept going up, then I would have missed out definitely. But for me, getting break even plus a little more today was, that was a great achievement, and so I was happy with that. And if you did something different, then don't worry about that. Like I said, the system is not set in stone. You got to trade as you trade. Trust your gut, trust your instinct. Go with what you feel. Okay, so as I go forward, we'll see that the price actually did turn back without going back up. So if I had trailed my stop, then I would have not gotten that additional extra gain there. And like I said, I broke the rules today, and rules are okay to be broken on certain times. I am a big stickler for trading, being disciplined, sticking to your rules, but that's why trading is an art and not a science. You can't calculate everything. So today it paid off for me because I was able to make up from yesterday's loss and get a little bit more. So that's what I did today. You might, even if you didn't do this, you still made out with a good gain at, getting out at 9,800. So don't feel bad. You still made profit, and we can never complain about having profit. And as I go forward, here's something else that happened. Here we see that we had a gap. We actually had a valid signal here, but this was at 8:15, which was right before the 8:30 jobless claims. So this we would not enter because it's right before news. But even if it wasn't before news, if you notice that there's a gap here, now it could just be my charting, my feed, but if you have a gap, I never trust those, because usually the saying is that if there's a gap, the market will always fill it back up. So here we see a gap, and sure enough, you can see that the price filled up, right there. So be careful of that. Here we had another crossover. But if you look closely, stochastics is still trending down. It didn't cross up. So this is also not a good signal. So no entry there. And if I move forward through the rest of the day, the price just moved back down, so nothing else there. All right, so that's pretty much it. I have to cut this video within 10 minutes or YouTube won't let me upload it. So I'm speaking really fast. That's it for today. We'll make another video again when I can, and I hope you all had a great trading day, and we'll see you next time. All right, peace.